Dear students, once again I welcome to online classes D1 Nalgonda. Today we'll talk about motion. It can also be called as motion in one dimension. Okay. In our daily lives, we observe different types of motions of the different objects. The two-wheelers can move, four-wheelers can move. Uh, Not only the vehicles, Earth also move round the clock. Okay, 24 hours. It always moves. But though we stand on the Earth, we cannot feel the motion of the Earth. To give reason for this question, we have to understand the term relativeness. Unless we understand relativity or relative, we cannot explain this kind of questions. Okay, to understand the relative, I'll explain you with one example. That is, if one of you stand in front of me like this, if I ask you to bring something which is on my right hand side, I show my right hand side, but the student who is standing in front of me, he feels that it is his left hand side. Okay. If I talk about right hand side, the student feels about his left hand side. Okay. It means I feel the right hand side and the student feels the left hand side. It means whenever we talk about this kind of things, observer is very important thing. It means the person who says, the person who is observing the object is the important thing. Here in this situation, I am observing the object which is the right side of my hand, but at the same time the student who is standing opposite to me, he feels that it is a left hand side. It means my answer is correct and his imagination also is a right one, but the thing is the observer is the most important one. Okay. To understand this, we will discuss about another example. For example, two persons, a and B, both are standing beside the road. Okay. Suppose a tree which is in between both the persons, both the persons A and B are approaching each other. If a person A talks about the position of the tree, that will be his left hand side. Okay. And if the person B wants to talk about the same tree, that will be on his right hand side. So it means the person who is talking is the important thing. So by this example we can understand easily. Okay. Not only that, for example, if one of your friend is in United States, if you call him during the night time in India, that will be the daytime at his place. You talk about your place, that will be the night, and if he talks about his place, that will be the daytime. It means you're talking about the night time, he will talk about his daytime. Actually, nighttime is right one and the daytime also is a absolutely right one. But the thing is, the person who is talking about, that will be the important thing. So this example, by using this example, we can understand what is relative. Okay. And the one more example I will give you is, for example, you take this object. If I ask you whether it is a long or short, bit you will be confused to give the answer for this question, because if this will be compared with the smaller object, shorter object, it looks like a longer one, it looks like a bigger one. If it compares with the longer objects, okay, it means it looks like a shorter one. It means uh, the the object with which it will be compares, that is the important thing. It means if this is compares with a smaller one, it can be looks like a longer one. If this compares with a longer objects, it looks like a shorter one. It means the observation is important, so that with help of these three examples we can understand the what is relative. In the same way, motion also is a relative. Motion and the rest, both the terms are relative. To understand this, motion and rest, I'll tell you one more example. In the same way, A and B are the two persons. This is a tree and a car is moving. Okay, here driver is driving the car and here is a passenger who is sitting inside the car. Okay, suppose if the person A talks about the car is moving. Okay, if a person talks about the tree is at rest. Okay, and if the driver who is sitting inside the car, if he talks about the position of the tree, the driver observes the tree is in a motion, but the persons who are standing nearby the tree like A and B, these two persons consider the tree is at rest, but the car is moving, it is under the motion. But with compared to the car or the driver and the passenger, those who are sitting inside the car, with respect to these people, the tree is in motion. It means the tree is with respect to the person A and B are at rest, but the same tree with respect to the driver and the passenger, that will be under the motion. It means, can you conclude this situation? Finally, the tree is the tree under the rest or under the motion? Actually, you can say that with respect to the person A and B, the tree is at rest, but with respect to the persons driver and the passenger, the tree under the motion. It means the term rest or motion, this will be the combined effect of the object and the observer. Without observer, we cannot clearly say that an object will be at rest or under the motion. With the position of the observer, we can explain very clearly the position of the objects. Okay, and we'll take another example. We talk about only this the car and the persons who are inside the car and the tree. For example, if the passenger is talking about with the driver, okay, with respect to the driver, the passenger is at rest. With respect to the driver, the passenger is at rest. But if comparing to this tree, the passenger moves. Okay, it means here the passenger is under the motion with respect to the tree, or the passenger is under the rest with respect to the driver. It means unless we can explain the situation of the observer, we cannot explain whether the object is under the rest or motion. So we can say that the term motion and rest, both are relative. It means the motion is a combined effect of the object and the position of the observer. Okay, by that way we can understand that the motion and the rest both are dependent on the observer. Okay, so we can define the terms motion and rest. If an object changes its position with respect to time, that object under the motion. If any object does not change its position with respect to the time, we can say that that object is at rest. It means if the position of the object changes with respect to time, it means as the time changes, as the time increases, as the time goes on, if the position of the object or the distance between the object and the observer changes, that object is said to be under the motion. Okay, if the distance between the object and the observer do not change, then we can say that the object under the rest. Okay, now we will discuss about distance and displacement. If a body is moving, if a body is changing its place, it means the distance between the object and the observer increases. Okay, to understand the distance and the displacement, this is distance and displacement. Okay, suppose if you have started from your house to school, okay, house to school via bus stand. Okay, this is your house, this is bus stand, and this will be the school. The distance covered by you is house to bus stand and the bus stand to school. This will be the total distance covered by a student. This we call it as distance. It means the actual length of the path. The actual length of the path. That will be the distance. Okay, if we consider about displacement, the displacement will be the shorter distance between the initial point and the final point, or in another words we can say that that will be the shortest distance between the initial point and the final point. The distance between house to school, that will be the displacement. In case of the displacement, that will be the short path or straight path. Okay, so and one more thing is, in case of the displacement, we can mention the clear direction. It means the displacement has direction also. It has specific direction. We can define the specific direction. It means the house to school straight away. The direction is mentioned like this. But in case of the distance covered, it cannot be understood, it cannot be explained with a specific direction, because house to bus stand is a one direction and the bus stands to school is a another direction. Okay, so the distance do not have specific direction, but the displacement has the specific direction. The physical quantities which has the specific directions, they are called as vectors. They are called as vectors or vector quantities. It means displacement is a vector and the distance is a scalar. It means the physical quantities which have the quantity, magnitude, quantity as well as the direction, they are called as vectors. Okay, it means the displacement is a vector quantity, but in case of distance, the actual length of the path, we do not mention a specific direction over here. So that's why the displacement has no specific direction. So that's why we call this distance is scalar quantity. Okay, it means all the physical quantities are divided into two types. One is a vector and the other one is scalar. The physical quantities which has the magnitude as well as the directions, they can be called as vectors. The physical quantities have only the magnitudes or the quantities, but they don't have specific directions. They are called as scalar quantities. Okay, for example, I'll tell you, suppose you are okay, you have started from a school to bus is a 1 kilometer, and a bus stand to school is a 4 kilometers. Okay, what is the actual distance covered by a student is, actual distance covered by a student will be distance is equals to house to bus stand plus bus stand to school. That will be 1 kilometer plus 4 kilometers. That will totally 5 kilometers. Okay, the distance will be the 5 kilometers. For example, if the shortest path between the home to school will be the, let us take 2.5 kilometers, then the displacement between the home to school will be 2.5 kilometers. that will be the difference between the displacement and the distance. Hope you understood very clearly. We will continue the further topics in the next class, because this chapter is a very important chapter. All the fundamental things in the physics we will learn in this lesson. Okay, it means the distance, displacement, scalar, vector, velocity and speed, average velocity, instant speed, uniform velocity, acceleration. These are all the basic things of the physical science. Okay, we will continue in the next class. Okay.